Worries about what's next in Greece as the price of oil taking a tumble. It's now down 7% below $53 a barrel. Here at home, the services sector of the economy grew at a slightly faster pace than forecast in June, as business activity and orders for new goods both increased. Dollar Tree finally completing its $8.5 billion acquisition of rival Family Dollar today. And there's big news for you coffee lovers. Starbucks raising prices starting tomorrow, citing rising costs for rent, labor, marketing, and equipment. Now, most drinks will cost from 5 cents to 20 cents more. The price of a large coffee will go for $2.45 at most stores. I'm Tom Busby, CNBC.
Have you had trouble with online dating? This is eHarmony founder Dr. Neil Clark Warren. We've created a new solution, EH+. EH Plus combines the personal attention of a matchmaker with eHarmony's extensive pool of great singles. EH Plus gives you hand-selected matches and freedom from being online. Get started today. Call 855-930-LOVE. That's 855-930-LOVE.
Do you want to learn how to earn commissions of up to 20% by laundering millions of foreign dollars?
Well, we can't help you with that. But among the many IT problems we solve, Barracuda's email security solutions keep email phishing attacks like this from entering your business network and any valuable data from leaking out. Reclaim your network like 150,000 other businesses have. To learn more about stopping email-borne threats, visit barracuda.com/email.
For more local radio every day, listen to KCAA.
And good afternoon. It is 12:02. I'm Di Rice with the latest in live local news, heard only here on KCAA 1050 AM. A 150-acre fire at the Lake Paris State Recreation Area was 100% contained Saturday. The Merwin fire was reported at 8:38 Wednesday night, July 1st, near Merwin Street and Campbell Avenue, northeast of the lake in Moreno Valley, prompting the evacuation of a group camping area at Lake Paris. The fire burned away from the nearest homes, which were a quarter mile away. The cause of the fire has not been disclosed. And a lot of accidents over the weekend. A Friday afternoon single vehicle rollover occurred in Paris on the 215 south of Harley Knox Boulevard. Raymond Mendez Jr., 18, of Hesperia, was pronounced dead at 2:07, nearly an hour following the crash. He died at Riverside County Regional Medical Center in Moreno Valley. 6 other people were critically injured, including 4 who were ejected from the white sport utility vehicle. The solo crash vehicle ended up on its roof in a ditch, and a cut and rescue team and multiple ambulances had been dispatched to the scene. 1 person died in a July 4th crash. That was Saturday morning, 9:42, when a white Ford commercial vehicle overturned and rolled over into a center divider on the 10 freeway. The driver, whose identity has not been disclosed, was the sole occupant of the vehicle. And then finally, a head-on collision occurred Saturday evening in Palm Springs on Highway 74, west of Carrizo Road. 1 driver had to be extricated from a vehicle and airlifted to a local hospital after becoming trapped in a vehicle. The crash was reported shortly after 7:30. The other driver, who was able to exit his vehicle, suffered moderate injuries. Both vehicles suffered from major damage. Inland Empire weather, a lot cooler this week. Highs into the mid-80s all week long. Some variable clouds out there. Highs near 86, lows 60. Right now we are at 78 degrees here in San Bernardino. Checking out your drive through Ontario. There is stop-and-go traffic on the 15 northbound between the 60 and Harupa Street. Also some stop-and-go on the 5 between Basilone Road and right around that area. That's in San Onofre. The 5 North is also slow in that general vicinity. That is the very latest in weather, traffic, and news on the station that leaves no listener behind, KCAA 1050 AM.
Hello, everyone. This is Nina MD, Fusion of Science and Beauty. Listen to my show every Wednesday night, 6 p.m., KCAA 1050, where I'm going to give you the latest, greatest on anti-aging.
Hi, I'm Michelle Skeen, psychologist, author, and host of Relationships 2.0. On my radio show, I interview guests who present their unique perspectives and expertise on topics that cover all aspects of relationships. If you want to improve your relationship, and let's face it, we all have room for improvement, tune in to Relationships 2.0 with Dr. Michelle Skeen. If you miss my show or you're interested in listening to past podcasts, you can go to my website, www.michelleskeen.com. Again, www.michelleskeen.com. Tune in and improve your relationships.
Sacrifice, determination.
You can be intentional about your character, your work ethic.
You've got to be on the same page.
Today we're calling to let you know we are debt-free, house and everything.
You have done really, really, really good. And you're not going to quit now.
It's been a huge witness for us to be able to share that.
It was time to get serious.
Intentionality, people.
Celebrate the success.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much.
This is your show, America.
If I knew at 22 what I know now, our life would be better off.
It's the show that's changing the world. Now you don't just listen to the show, you live it. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Dave Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. Our phone number is 888-825-5225, where we talk about your life and we talk about your money. Nick is going to start off this hour in Raleigh, North Carolina. Hi, Nick. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
How you doing, sir? Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Well, let me just give you some background. I went to school in Virginia, and like a dummy, I accrued about $100,000 in debt just to get through school. And I joined the military after that, and I met my wife. Now we're married. We bought a house. We owe about $110,000 on the house. And we have 2 new cars, $20,000 and about $19,000 on the other. And I'm transitioning out of the military, and we're just, I'm tired of drowning and bringing her down with me. So we're trying to figure out a way to get debt free.
What branch did you serve in, sir?
The Army.
Oh, well, thank you for your service. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
So your wife work outside the home?
Yeah, she does. She works, she sells hearing aids at Costco.
Okay. So what does she make a year?
She makes about, after taxes, I think, $41,000.
Okay. And you said you're transitioning out. Have you landed your new career path yet?
I am like fingertips away. Hopefully I'll receive a call this week.
Okay.
And that'll be, that income should be around $50,000 after taxes.
Okay. So we're dealing with like a $91,000 household income. No, after taxes, you said. So you're dealing with more like a $110,000 household income, right?
Right. We bought our house for $115,000.
Yeah. No, I said $110,000 household income. If you're going to make $50,000 after taxes, that'd be easily $60,000, $70,000 before taxes, plus her $41,000 puts your household at about $110,000. Your household income. Does that make sense to you?
Yes,
okay.
sir.
That's what we got to work with. Okay.
All right.
How badly do you want out of this mess?
Oh, my gosh.
What about
real
her?
Bad. It's almost every week I hear something about it.
Okay. All right. Well, here's the rule.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Here's the rule. The more radical you get, the faster you clean up the mess.
Okay.
I mean, let's be bizarre. I'm not going to recommend this. But let's say you sold everything and moved into a tent. You could clean up the mess really quick, right?
Right, yeah.
We're not going to do that. That's ridiculous.
No.
I'm not suggesting that. But that's what I mean. That's that ratio of the crazier you get, the deeper you cut, the faster the mess is cleaned up. And that's from 25 years of coaching people doing this. The crazier, the wilder they get, the faster they get out. And so what I'm going to do is put you on a written budget, beans and rice, rice and beans. You don't have a life. You're not going to see the inside of a restaurant unless it's your extra job and you're working there. Or you're not even ever going to see a pizza again until this mess is cleaned up. You're cooking at home from scratch with food you bought with coupons. That's your only option. You see what I'm getting to? There's no vacation in your future.
Yes, sir.
Not until you get this mess cleaned up. And so I'm going to start turning the heat up, right? You feeling it?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I asked the question if you're serious, because this is going to tell if you're serious or not. If I woke up in your shoes knowing what I know now, what I see is a house that is a reasonably priced home. And I see 2 cars that are insanity. I'd sell both of them. I'd get me two $1,000 to $2,000 cars, 2 beaters, 2 cars that are so bad they need a name. And that's just enough to get her back and forth to Costco, just enough to get you to work. And it's just for a short period of time, Nick, because you got to clean up the mess. See, without any car payments, we just increased your income $1,000 to $1,200 a month, didn't we?
Yeah.
Boom, just like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then you crank another $1,000 or $1,200 out. We start to be able to see a way, maybe $2,000. We start to see a way that the student loan is gone in about 3 years. And you live in the same house and you drive junk for 3 years and you don't have a life for 3 years. And you're 100% debt-free except for your home 3 years from today. But you got to pay a price, man. I mean, this is like financial boot camp on steroids.
Yeah, that's what's really killing us is the loan. At least from my point of view, I've got 3 different loans equating up to $100,000 with 3 different interest rates.
Yep.
Really was my main question.
But how fun would it be to start? What's the smallest one of those?
I think it's like 25.
Okay. How fun would it be? How fun would it be that by Christmas that was gone?
That would be insane.
Because you could just about do that. But I mean, you got no life, dude. You hear me? Your broke friends are going to make fun of you to no end. Your family's going to think you need counseling. Your family's going to think you need counseling because you're going to cut this to the bone. We're not going to move into a tent, but everything but.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
If you'll commit to that, I will give you the program that will make it happen. It's called Financial Peace University. It's our 9-week class, and I will give it to you as my gift to say thank you for serving your country and because I really think you're ready to change your life.
That would be awesome.
So it's you go 1 night a week for 9 weeks, and you're going to learn how to get control of this money. You're going to learn how to talk with your spouse about money so you're not fighting all the time. Because this puts a pain in the butt on a marriage, doesn't it, Nick?
You ain't lying.
Yeah, I'm not lying. I've been there, man. Sharon and I went through going broke, man. We about killed each other. We didn't get a divorce. It's just so we held on to each other just to get a better grip. It was no fun, man. And I know, right? How old are you? 27?
I am coming up on 29.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah,
right there.
Yeah, you've done the normal stuff that people do in their 20s, and this is going to completely change your life if you're ready for it to. But you got to pay a price. You hear me say that loud and clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now there's 2 rules if I give you this class for free. Rule number 1 is you and your spouse commit to not missing a single night. You go all 9 nights. You promise me? Hello? You promise me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The second rule is when you're rich someday, you find some guys getting out of the service or some gals getting out of the service, and you pay for them to go through the class someday.
I promise. Yes, sir.
Pay it forward. You hold on. I'll have Miss Kelly pick up, and we will get you signed up for Financial Peace University. You are ready. You're ready. I can feel it in talking to you. I can hear it in the spirit. You're ready to go, man. Life is going to be good. And then I want you to call me back and do your debt-free scream, or come to Nashville and do your debt-free scream. We want to hear the end of your story. You call me back. You remind me about this call when you call, because I want to hear how this. I want to hear the way this story ends, and it's going to end well. But you got 3 years of pain in the butt ahead of you, man. You really do. It's going to be hard. The only thing I can promise you is it's going to be worth it. It'll be like to have no payments. What would it be like to have no payments? What could you
From
do?
the latest movies and TV shows to comedy and music, we cover it all on the Beat Pod Show with me, Brad Dalius, each and every week.
Sunday at 11 a.m. and Mondays at 3 p.m.
Here on CNBC, KCAA, 1050 a.m.
me tell you why I endorse Liberty Safes. No other safe out there can protect your valuables, important documents, and guns like a Liberty Safe can. I keep my personal gun collection in my Liberty Safe, and I love knowing that no one can get to these guns but me. These safes are amazing. While you're searching Liberty's site, you'll find all kinds of sizes, colors, but most important, they protect what you value most. From high fire ratings to tough safes that even dynamite can't open. That's the great thing about Liberty Safes. They're beautiful, yet secure, which means it doesn't matter where you are on your journey to financial peace, there's a Liberty Safe that's priced right just for you. So, get yourself a Liberty Safe today.
This is KCAA.
Out and about in Western agriculture. Growers heard about a 2-year project looking into natural defenses for the Asian citrus psyllid at a recent seminar. Hear why it was important to have conducted the trial overseas after this.
Step right up and gaze upon this miraculous substance I hold in the palm of my hands. This little miracle can feed us, clothe us, give us clean, fresh water, and provide wildlife habitat for nature's critters. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the greatest soil on earth.
Learn more about soil health principles that can turn your soil into a star performer. Contact your local USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service office today to find out how. This message brought to you by USDA and this radio station.
Cooperative Extension Specialist Mark Hoddle has been conducting a study in Pakistan for a few years now.
Right, so we had a 2.5-year project in Pakistan, and the reason we were working in Pakistan was that this is part of the native range for Asian citrus psyllid. So we were there looking for natural enemies to bring back to California to use in a biological control program targeting ACP in California. The reason we chose Pakistan was that it has a very good climate match with California, and the idea behind this is if you want to bring natural enemies to California, we want them to be pre-adapted to California's climate.
Hoddle says getting the natural defenses that are used to California's climate is extremely important, so they could adapt to the different areas where citrus is grown in the state. He also said they used some technology that revealed some interesting habits of the Asian citrus psyllid.
So we developed these little micro cameras using cell phone cameras basically, and they can record 24 hours a day up to about 5 days a week. And what we've found is that about 50 to 60% of natural enemy activity is actually occurring during the nighttime, when obviously nobody's awake to see this type of thing happening. And the important predators that we've observed from this are syrphid fly larvae and lacewing larvae. And these provide, pretty high levels of predation of ACP nymphs in citrus growing areas.
I'm Taylor Hillman for AgNet West.
You've heard her on the Poor Man Show talking about mastering women, which just so happens to be the title of her latest book. Now get ready to listen and talk to Linda Gross, the expert on gender differences and the men's advocate. Write this number down to call in to talk to Linda, 888-909-1050. Every Wednesday afternoon, 4 o'clock Pacific, it's the Men's Advocate Show with Linda Gross, 888-909-1050. Let's talk, where men can be men, on KCAA 1050 AM.
Dave, when doing a budget, Tiffany says, do you pay bills first and then figure out how much money goes to each envelope? Help. It's a really good question, because when people start doing a budget, they have to figure out where's the money going to run out. And when the bills are stacked up, sometimes people try to pay all the bills and then wonder if they can eat. And if you pay all your bills and there's not enough money left for food, you know what you have? Food on a credit card. Because you're going to eat. Every one of you are going to eat. You're not going to not eat. I'm not under any illusion about this. And so what we want you to do is to take care of your own household first, which comes from the Bible, by the way. Take care of your own household first. And that means the very first thing you should buy priority-wise when you're putting your budget together is food. It's the most important thing you buy. Before you buy anything else for you or your family or pay any bills, you buy food. Let me tell you how absurd our culture has gotten. I was doing an event in Phoenix not long ago, and this beautiful young lady walks up as we were signing books at the end of the event. And with tears running down her face, she said, "Thank you for the seminar today because I'm going to go home and buy groceries." And I said, "What do you mean?" Because she was like professionally decked out, sharp-looking woman, like, looked like she was a professional lady, and she was, as it turned out. But she hadn't eaten in 2 days. Not because she had an eating disorder, but because her father and the culture had told her that no matter what happens, don't let your credit score get damaged. Your credit score is everything. And so in the name of maintaining perfect credit, she had chosen to pay her bills literally rather than buying food. That's how screwed up this culture has gotten. Some of you people that say things like that to people like her are known as stupid. That's what we call you. You're stupid. Not her. People that taught her stuff like that. And her dad didn't mean for her to not eat when he said. She took it too far, right? I'm sure he wasn't that stupid that he would ever recommend his daughter not eat in order to keep her credit score up. But people translate these things into their mind. Well, my dad always said, and it becomes legendary stupidity. So here's the rule. Number one is food. Before you do anything else, you buy food. Now that we've eaten, we can continue through the budget. The second thing you do, and this is from years of coaching people in crisis scenarios, so listen to me carefully. I didn't just make this up just now. Tens of thousands of cases in 25 years. The second thing you do is you buy lights and water. You keep your utilities on. What? You don't pay the rent? Well, it won't matter if you get evicted. But it will matter if you don't drink for 3 days or bathe, which will affect your ability to keep your job. Lights, electricity involves heating and cooling, which in some areas is literal survival. The dead of winter in Minnesota. The dead of summer in Phoenix. You follow me? So lights and water. By the way, almost everyone has the money to do those first two things, food, lights and water. But you'd be amazed the number of people I meet who MasterCard is current and they're behind on their light bill. Like about 80% of the people that come in for financial counseling are behind on their utilities and current on stupid stuff. I paid the collector the medical bill because he was yelling at me, but I hadn't paid my light bill in 3 months. I'm getting ready to cut off my electricity. I've heard this story thousands of times. So lights and water after food. The third one is shelter. You pay your rent or your house payment. The fourth one is transportation. That literally involves paying your car payment if you have one. God help you. But if you got a $500 car payment and we're having this conversation, you need to sell the stupid car. Oh, by the way, if you got a $500 car payment, you can't pay it off in 2 years, you need to sell the stupid car, period. If you got a car payment, you can't pay it off in 2 years, you got to sell the car. So we got to be debt-free in 2 years, not counting the house. So transportation, that involves gasoline for your car. By the way, if you can drive your car to work, you have a place to live, you have lights and water, and you have food, everything else is a Monopoly game. Everything else you're playing Monopoly and you're losing, but it's a game. It's just an inconvenience. Everything else is not food, shelter, clothing, transportation, and utilities. Clothing, basic clothing, but most of you got enough clothing, you don't have to buy clothes for 10 years. It's just the style that you're worried about. You got clothes coming out your dadgum ears. Most of you got a clothing issue in this culture. If you're under the sound of my voice, you're not struggling with clothing. That's really not a problem. I mean, just keep wearing that suit. The lapel length will come back in. But so now that you've done the necessities, so to answer, Tiffany, your question is you do your necessities first. Food, shelter, clothing, transportation, and utilities before you do anything else. Then, when you sit down to do the rest of your bills, it feels completely different. You haven't even spent the money yet. You haven't even written the checks. You're just doing it on paper. But it changes the whole spiritual and emotional and relational discussion around your budget when you know that you and your family are okay. Now we can fight. Now let's fight through the rest of this. But it's not life or death. It's just Monopoly. It's just somebody else got Boardwalk and I landed on it. That's all it is. It's just a game once you get past that. Then you fight with MasterCard and the medical bills and the dad blame student loan that's been around so long you think it's a pet. Then you fight with those things. And your first goal is to pay minimum payments to everyone and be current. Now, if you can't do your necessities plus minimum payments to everyone and be current, you have a crisis. And your crisis is on two ends, income and outgo. So we have to get your income up. You need to be delivering pizzas by the end of the day or cutting grass or walking dogs or I don't care what, but be doing something and get your income up. Extra jobs. I don't care if you work 80 hours a week. Shut up your whining. You got to clean up a mess. So you need more jobs. So get your income up, and you need to look around what you can sell. You're sitting there with a $500 car payment and can't figure out why you can't pay your bills. Well, no wonder. You know, you're sitting there looking at a boat in the garage, and you can't figure out why you can't pay your bills. Well, no wonder. Now, I'm not against boats. I got a couple of them, but you ought to have a boat where you own it. It doesn't own you. This is the plan. So necessities first, then get current with everyone second. Then once you're there, you start the baby steps. And you start to squeeze anything out of the budget you can, and you hit that baby step 1 of $1,000. Baby step 2, you start working off these debts, smallest to largest. You'll be amazed at how quickly margin starts to drop into this budget, how quickly wiggle room starts to drop into this budget. And if you want to do it the easiest possible way to lay this whole thing out, you go to everydollar.com. That's our new online budgeting tool. Almost 500,000 people are already using it. It's free. Everydollar.com. Go get your budget. You can have your budget going in 10 minutes. But, Tiffany, the answer to your question, and it's a really good question because I haven't talked about it in too long. It reminded me I needed to talk about it. You take care of your necessities first. Food, utilities, rent, transportation, basic clothing, food, shelter, clothing, transportation, and utilities. Civics class from the 8th grade. Do they still teach that? You take care of your necessities. The difference in a necessity and a want. A need and a want. Let me help you with this. Almost every one of you listening to me have no needs that aren't being met. You're just whining about even how you meet the needs. You can eat at home. You don't have to eat out every night. Eating out is a luxury. Eating in is eating. Driving a basic $1,000, $2,000 car is a need. Everything above that is a luxury. Luxuries aren't evil, but don't talk to me about you need a luxury, because I will smack you in your entitlement head. You don't need a luxury. Luxuries are wonderful. Work hard and get you some luxuries. But don't tell me you need I need a bigger car. I've got a baby. You got another car that get you a cheaper car. A less expensive car that holds more babies. Big old van. Get you one of those cheap old vans. Yeah. That people make fun of. See, what you needed was a luxury. You got to be careful. I need something safe. No, you're rationalizing now. See, you have to think this way. Everydollar.com will get you on the path.
This is KCAA.
California headline news. The father of shooting victim Kate Steinle recalls the awful moment when his daughter was struck by a bullet as the two walked along San Francisco's Pier 14.
I was in the service. I had, he had to have mandatory first aid training, so she was really laboring in her breath, and I cleared her windpipe and started CPR.
Jim Steinle says at first he thought his daughter's cell phone had blown up, saying she was holding the phone when he heard a pop before she asked for her father's help. The suspect, Francisco Sanchez, insists the shooting was an accident, that a gun he found laying on the ground went off when he picked it up. Numerous fireworks malfunctions over the weekend, including one that prompted the end of the Cal Expo display. About halfway through, a shell misfired and turned the other bracts on their sides.
The shells, the firework device themselves, they were being launched sideways instead of going up in the air.
Steve Guarino, Cal Fire. No one seriously hurt. Geico weather. Cooler temperatures around the state today. Chance of moisture tomorrow. Jeff Scott, California News.
Do you freak out every time you break out? Try Proactive. There's a huge reason Proactive is the #1 acne treatment. It totally works. For just $19.95, you'll get Proactive and a rotating deep cleansing brush. A $45 value, yours free. For only $19.95, you're guaranteed to get clear and stay clear, or your money back. Here's the number, 1-800-644-5944. Call now for a lifetime of beautiful skin. 1-800-644-5944.
I'm Jay Farner with some great news on how you could save an average of $3,000 per year on your mortgage. Call Quicken Loans now at 800-QUICKEN to see if you qualify for the government's Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. The HARP guidelines have changed. There's less paperwork and often no appraisal required. Call 800-QUICKEN. That's 800-QUICKEN, or visit QuickenLoans.com.
Important terms and conditions apply. Call us for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Kcaa. Are you particular about the vitamins and supplements you take? Have you found that the big chain stores simply don't have what you need? Then you should know about the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills. You'll find rock-bottom prices on gourmet, top-quality vitamins and mineral supplements at the Vitamin Center. Get 30% off on all supplements and homeopathic products. All, not just selected merchandise. In addition, you'll find 30% off on all cosmetics, soaps, shampoos, toothpaste, makeup, hair coloring, and lip gloss. And all tea products are discounted 20%. Why go anywhere else? See for yourself at the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills, 5007 Canaan Road in Agora Hills. Or check out the savings and place your order online, VitaminCenterAgoraHills.com. Start saving by getting what you need from the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills. And tell a friend that the Vitamin Center ships nationwide. Call 818-707-0005. That's 818-707-0005. The Vitamin Center of Agora Hills.
If you can't seem to stay ahead of your bills, then this message is for you. How would you like to have a large portion of your credit card debt, medical bills, and department store debt forgiven? National Credit Card Relief would like to give you free information on a proven debt forgiveness program. This program has been used by thousands to legally forgive millions in unsecured debt. It's not bankruptcy. It's not consolidation. This special program actually wipes clean the portion of your debt that is forgiven from what you owe your creditors. Call for free information and get all your questions answered in the first free call. The more you owe, the more you can save. If you have at least $10,000 or more in credit card bills, this debt forgiveness program can be very effective. Call for free information and find out more now. 800-546-2909. There is no cost or obligation for the information. Don't wait. Call 800-546-2909. That's 800-546-2909. Get your debt problem solved. Call 800-546-2909 today.
Consider this your invitation to sell. At buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. Buysellmakeoffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now at buysellmakeoffer.com. This is your official invitation to get on board to sell your stuff right now. Free for the next 60 days. And once you see how easy it is, you'll want to sign up for more because there are no item fees. That's right. Take this opportunity to move items from the other guys and sell it for free. You might even win a Samsung tablet, Amazon gift cards, and other cool prizes. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the future of online selling. You can use Skype to talk to your buyer or seller. Plus, you can use video to showcase your items. BuySellMakeOffer.com.
Hi, it's Brad Dalius, host of the Beat Pod Show. Join me each week for the latest news and entertainment, including new movies, TV shows, music, comedy, and more. You'll also hear inside stories from the stars themselves, providing you access to the world of Hollywood. So join me, Brad Dalius, every week for the Beat Pod Show, here on CNBC, KCAA, 1050 AM.
Sunday at 11 a.m. and Mondays at 3 p.m.
Here on this station that leaves no listener behind.
In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions, our guest is with us, Bill. Hey, Bill, how are you?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Better than I deserve, sir. Where do you live?
Just north of Detroit in Warren, Michigan.
Oh, cool. Well, good to have you. Good to have you, man. Thanks for coming in. So you're here to do your debt-free scream?
We are.
And who have you got with you here?
This is my son, Will.
Hello.
Welcome, Will. Good to have you, sir. Pleasure. So how much debt have you paid off, Bill?
About $75,000.
Excellent. And how long did that take you?
A little more than 3 years. It actually started, I lost my job in 2009, and simultaneously went through a divorce.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Which kind of, threw everything into turmoil.
Okay. What kind of debt was the $75,000?
The biggest was about $40,000, short of $40,000, which actually was a loan from my 401k. As this whole thing started, it actually started, I lost my job in 2009. And simultaneously went through a divorce.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Which kind of, threw everything into turmoil. So at that time, I had to refinance the house. But being in 2009, I was underwater.
Yeah.
So I had to come to the table with $40,000 to refinance the house. Okay. Only place I could get it was from 401k.
Wow.
So that was a chunk. But then also heading into that, I had a vehicle, was about $15,000 of it. Some cats and dogs consumer loans, like stereo, computer, that type of thing. And then there was about $20,000 plus that was a single loan that just prior to getting serious about it, I did a consolidation. It was basically credit card debt.
Gotcha.
A lot of that was expenses while I was out of a job. I ran out of savings, and just to keep the lights on, some of that.
So in the last 4 years, you've lost your job, you've gone through a divorce, you got a job, lost another job, and then started again, and worked through this whole thing. That's pretty amazing. What a wild time. Yeah. That's 4 years you don't need again.
Really?
Yeah. This is crazy. So tell me the story. What happened right there at the bottom when the switch flipped and you said, okay, enough?
Yeah. Well, I'd been listening to you for 7 or 8 years and always kind of, had a car payment, some manageable debt here and there. I'd listen to you and go, oh, that living like no one else is for someone else, and didn't really take it seriously. And then when this hit, it dawned on me, you cannot live this way. If you do hit a bump in the road, it shouldn't throw you right in the ditch. You got to be able to manage it. So I said, I got to get rid of this debt. When I got back on my feet, got back into a job and everything, I said, okay, I'm working the program now. This is it. I got to get out of this.
I'm done now. Enough pain, Yeah, the biggest lie out there is manageable debt.
Yeah.
That's one we believe, and that's financial apathy is really what it is, and it just allows you to go along and feel like everything's okay, and you're one bump in the road from the entire drivetrain coming out from under the car.
Yep.
I mean, it really is. It looks like something out of a movie, but that's wild. So what was the wildest thing you did in the last 3 years and 4 months? The craziest thing to get out of debt?
I can't think of anything necessarily crazy. It was just making that decision that I wasn't going to keep the old bad habits going. We went into austerity to some degree, but we didn't really go down to bare bones. I just put a plan together that said, this is going to work. Absolutely would not, finance anything else. Every spare dollar had to go to debt.
So singleness of mind.
Yes.
Yeah. So how old are you?
54.
Yeah, okay, same age. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, it's harder for us to learn new stuff. My team was making fun of me this morning when one of the meetings I was in, we were talking about technology, and I started talking about technology, and they all just started laughing. If you're 26 and you do something stupid, it's one thing to learn it. When you're double that, and you start to learn something new, there's grooves in your brain that are deep that you have to get out of that rut, don't you? It's hard.
Yep.
I admire you. Congratulations. That's a very, very impressive thing. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Yes, you can.
Yep.
Yes, you can. We old dogs learn new stuff all the time, if we want to bad enough.
Yep.
And you just hit that point where enough stuff was broken that you said, I can't handle one more thing being broken.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
So, yeah, we put the plan together. I have the nerd mind, too, and I had myself graphs to show my progress. So
There you go.
I was looking at that all the time. And
that keeps you moving, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It really does. You got that little progress thing there. It's like the GPS on the car.
Mm-hmm.
When we were kids, we would ask Dad, are we there yet? On the thing. Nowadays, you can just look in the GPS and tell if you're there or not. But you don't have to ask how far away something is. But, wow, congratulations. How many? Let's see, 54. So you've been working 35 years.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been debt-free during the 35 years?
I was about 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you went back to being normal. Or you went to being normal.
I need me a new car now.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Now that I'm out of debt, let's celebrate with getting a new car.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. Cool. Will you ever go back?
No. And hopefully I'm, changing the family tree. I have 3 older stepkids. I'm trying to teach and preach a little bit and keep them on out of the credit cards. And
yeah. So, Will, you've watched your dad go through all of this.
Oh, yeah.
So, how does that make you feel about him?
Well, just hearing a lot of this stuff, it greatly increases my appreciation towards him. Everything he's done in the last 5-6 years has been not only for himself but for his family, and that is just quite amazing in my mind.
Very cool. Very cool. Nicely said, sir. How old are you, Will?
12.
Neat. Wow. Very articulate. Good job. Well, it's a good thing, Bill, when dads can still be heroes. So you've done well. Very well done, sir. Very well done. All right, Bill and Will from Detroit, Michigan. $75,000 paid off in 3 years and 4 months, making 0 and making 95. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free!
Well done. Well done. Man, that's awesome. Well-spoken young man. Very sharp. Very cool. Oh, that's good stuff right there. Gives you hope, doesn't it? Yeah, that's why we do this over and over and over and over, every hour if we can. And you don't necessarily have to come here, but these days more and more folks are actually visiting, particularly in the summer when they have vacation time and that kind of stuff. They'll make a trip to Nashville, because Nashville's a great trip anyway. But it turns out now that, the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions with the homemade baked goods that Dorothy makes over in Martha's Place, and the free coffees, and sit here in the lobby and watch the show happen and see the debt-free screams, or be one of the debt-free screams. It's turned into a tourist stop. It really has. We have to have reserved visitor parking out front now. So, but thank you. Thanks for coming by and visiting us. And we want you to do that. Listen, if you do want to do your debt-free scream, you need to get in touch with Kelly ahead of time. Don't just pop in here and think we're going to be able to do it, because they're booked out many, many weeks in advance. And around my travel schedule and that kind of stuff, because, if I'm on the road and you pop in here, you're going to be disappointed. You don't want to do all that. So check in with Kelly Daniel, and you can do that at DaveRamsey.com, and there's a whole section there on applying for your debt-free scream and all that. If you forget to do that, just email us at DaveOnAir. That's one word, at DaveOnAir@DaveRamsey.com, and Kelly will pick up the email that way, or James will, and make sure Kelly knows about it, and we'll try to, make sure that your debt-free scream is facilitated, because we sometimes have folks drop in, they're disappointed. They thought they could just do it randomly, and we literally have taught 4 million people in just Financial Peace University alone, not to mention 10 million listeners. So we could do debt-free screams wall-to-wall through 3 hours of the show, and believe it or not, even that would get old doing it that much. So we limit them to 1 an hour, except for some kind of a weird special thing. So anyway, be sure you book yours well in advance. Open phones here. The phone number is 888-825-5225. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hello, everyone. This is Nina MD, Fusion of Science and Beauty. Listen to my show every Wednesday night, 6 p.m., KCAA 1050, where I'm going to give you the latest, greatest on anti-aging.
This is KCAA.
Wet n Wild Palm Springs is the one where you get big water park fun barefooting. In the sun barefooting. Flow rider barefooting. Wet n Wild barefooting. Bring your friends and stay all day. Wet n Wild is your place to play barefooting.
Yeah, you gotta get barefooting this summer at Wet n Wild. Dive into all the thrills, all the action, all the fun. Take on awesome slides and rides. There's big fun for kids and much more. This summer, we have extended hours, dive-in movies every Friday, and everyone gets free tubes. Plus, save $7 on admission when you buy online or grab discount coupons at area Jack in the Box restaurants. For your best summer ever, it's Wet n Wild.
Slipping, sliding, barefooting. Getting soaked barefooting. Wet n Wild barefooting.
Wet n Wild.
Barefooting. Wet n Wild barefooting.
Wet n Wild. Park open daily.
Like to spend a few days in another world? Then write this down. Golden Bear Cottages, Big Bear Lake. Now, listen, this is not some corporate-owned operation. It's family-owned and operated by some real nice people. Unique? Oh, you bet. Golden Bear Cottages features 28 one-of-a-kind cabins on a 5-acre historic site. Great for families, couples, and groups. And cabins are available with 1 to 7 bedrooms. Golden Bear Cottages is just a stone's throw from Big Bear Lake and super close to 3 great ski areas. Now, I could go on all day about Golden Bear Cottages in Big Bear, but to see everything, just go to goldenbear.net. Again, goldenbear.net. Golden Bear Cottages in Big Bear. Clean, comfortable, and affordable. Check them out. goldenbear.net.
KCAA Radio, Loma Linda, where no listener is ever left behind.
Market Wrap host Mo Ansari discusses the benefits of holistic wealth management.
You need somebody to hold your hand, guide you through the ups and downs of the stock market, the economy, and all the zigs and zags of life. That's why we created the Wealth Management Solution, where we take the holistic approach and look at everything that you've got, not just trying to buy that one stock at the very bottom, sell it at the very top, buy those 2 annuities and 2 REITs and call me in 10 years sort of a thing. No, we do it step by step, day by day. It's a process, and we work with you all along the way.
If you're ready for some help, call Compact Asset Management at 800-388-9700 and schedule your free consultation with Mo Ansari to learn about his holistic approach to wealth management. Call 800-388-9700. That's 800-388-9700.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor. Funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA SIPC.
Desperate? Nothing to do? Just like some abuse?
Oh, God!
Well, then tune into The Poor Man weekdays at 2 p.m. on KCAA 1050 AM.
Thank you for joining us, America. We're glad you're here. Amber is with us in Utah. Hi, Amber. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. I'm so excited to talk to you.
Well, you too. What's up in your world?
All right. Well, my husband and I are looking to move to Texas, actually, to Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually flew out there last week looking at apartments where we're going to live, and I scoped out some ones that I looked at online and narrowed it down finally to 2.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm kind of trying to figure out what is more valuable here. We have one that is personally my favorite. By the way, I have a job. I've already secured a job as a teacher there, and he's going to be looking for one when we get there.
Okay.
And so both of them are about the same distance away. One of them from my work. One of them is more in the city, and it's a little more expensive, but so we're talking like $865, $870 per month, and we wanted 2-bedroom because I don't know. For a family, or maybe as a studio, whatever. We wanted 2-bedroom. And then...
I'm sorry, for a family, you have children?
No children. No kids yet.
Okay.
Just for the future.
Okay.
All right. And
are you buying this or renting it?
Renting. Sorry, renting.
Okay. And what are you going to be making as a teacher?
$50,000.
And what will he be doing?
He is a web developer.
Okay. So... Does that lend itself to, do you think as a developer, is he going to work from home, or will he be more likely downtown or more likely in the burbs?
That is a good question. It really, there's businesses that are kind of all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
He's thinking, it's exciting because there's a lot of opportunity.
So one's 860, and the other one's how much?
The other one's 825, and that one's a little bit outside of the city, more towards Fort Worth.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the one that I like more.
Mm-hmm. Why?
And I like it more because it's a little bigger. It has stairs, and I really like the management. The other one, I wasn't so sure about the management. I liked them, but I got a better feeling from the one that's more out of town.
Mm-hmm.
I also like that it's a little less expensive, but I'm wondering if that. Oh, and it also has the. It's a little less expensive, and it has really energy efficient. Like the windows or double pane windows and things like that. So that
did you ask for utility bills on each?
The utilities we would have to pay. The apartment.
Yeah, did you ask them how much they run?
I did, but they said it just depends. It's looking like it'll probably be $100 more for either of them.
Okay, that depends crap is just that, because otherwise the energy efficient windows don't matter. What I would do is call the the utility provider and ask them for a history in that complex on 2 bedrooms.
Okay.
In each case, and see if the energy efficiency actually mattered.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's just kind of something that doesn't matter.
Okay.
If it doesn't result in savings, it's just, a nice window that's not even yours.
Yeah.
Okay, so, well, it doesn't matter, but in my opinion, for me, if $40 doesn't make it one way or the other, if the utilities swing the deal for you, that might answer the question after you do that research. Mm-hmm. Neither one of these managers are completely out of control. They're probably both professionally managed. Just one of them was a little more service and smiley and helpful, and the other one's a little bit more of a jerk, but they might actually end up being easier to work with. You never know. You got to read the lease, because that's going to be your managing document of this relationship, not whether they smiled or not. Because it's not a restaurant. I mean, you're signing a contract, right? So, you're going to be going by the contract. If everybody gets fired there and new people come in, you're going to be going by the contract. So that's what you go with. So either one of those. There's not a deal breaker in this discussion, so I'd go with the one I like. A thought, something to think about. And it's not a big deal, but it just ran through my mind. I want you to look at, is this your all's first place?
No, it's not. We're living in an apartment right now.
It's your second place. You've been married less than 3 years.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I smelled. Okay, and so what I would tell you is this: when Sharon and I got married, we rented the Taj Mahal. We rented the nicest, best place that we could get our hands on, as if we owned it, as if we were going to live there forever. We lived there only 6 months, and we moved to a place literally half as much. Mm-hmm. We moved from a 3-bedroom, 2-story, 1-car garage, very nice townhome, brand new married. We were 22 years old, and we moved from that to a 1-bedroom, 700-square-footer, and cut our rent. We literally cut it 2/3 when we did that, because we discovered, and I want you to think this part through, that we didn't need 3 bedrooms. There were not enough people living there to sleep in all 3 bedrooms. There were only 2 of us, and the dogs didn't need their own bedrooms each. And so we discovered that rent is an expense that we pay while we're saving up to get ourselves out of debt and buy our first home. And the more rent we pay, the longer we have to wait to buy a home, because we're using up some of our buy our home money on rent. Mm-hmm. So don't rent too nice.
Okay.
Renting is camping. It's patience. Rent the least thing you can get by with emotionally, and use the money to never rent again. Use the savings.
Okay.
So that would be my pitch to a 1-bedroom versus a 2 in your situation, or maybe even another complex. Your rent is not out of line with what will be your household income. You're going to be okay. I didn't hear anything in here that's any big fireworks going off, bells, some kind of you're not in the stupid zone. I'm not yelling at you. I just want you to view rent as an expense that is key, that the higher it is, the longer it takes me to buy.
Right.
And so I want to keep rent as low as I can and live in a place that's emotionally palatable, safe, and so on, you know. So, but the $800 is not out of line. But if you could do the other for $600, it might be something to think about. That's $200. That's $2,400 a year towards your buying a home.
For sure.
Just one bedroom in the same complex. You can always move if you have a kid. I mean, you don't have to stay. It's a rent. It's just you're not locked in there. It's not a 5-year lease you're signing. So that's a way to think about it. But I didn't hear anything in there that helps make the decision for me other than you like the one, and I'd probably just go with the one I like, really. I mean, the only thing would be if he landed a job and you caused him an hour commute with that, and I wouldn't want to do that. I'd take the other one, the one you like less, because commuting is less fun than being at a place that you can't get to because of the commute. So, all right. Melanie is with us in Houston. Hi, Melanie. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up in your world?
Well, I am paying off student loans right now. I had about $48,000. I'm working as a nurse. I just graduated in December.
Congrats.
And thank you. And I just paid off my first loan yesterday. It was a $10,000 loan.
Great.
So I'm down to about $38,000 left.
Love it.
My question is, which loan do I pay off next?
How many loans are there?
There are 8 to start out with.
Wow. Okay. To start with, there were 8.
Yes.
Okay. How many are there now?
There's 7 now.
Okay. And what is the smallest one?
Well, the smallest one is actually mine. I've been paying off the parent loans. The smallest one is like $1,800.
Okay.
But the interest rate is very low on it.
I don't care. Pay it off. Pay off your smallest to largest is the order. What are you making as a nurse?
I make about $48,000 a year.
Are you getting any OT?
That's not including any overtime or selling any paid time off.
Will you be able to do
I'm
those?
Working overtime.
Will you be able to do those things? Good.
Yes.
And so, and you're fresh into this, so you should not have a big lifestyle. You're single?
Yes.
Okay. So I could see you paying off all of this in 18 months.
Okay.
So the interest rate doesn't matter. Because you're not going to be in debt very long. Interest rate only matters the longer you're in debt, mathematically speaking. And so if I'm in your shoes, I'm going to list these smallest to largest, and I'm going to reach over there this month, and I'm going to pay off that $1,800. Boom, gone. Now you got 6. Boom, now you got 7. Now you got 5. Now you got 4. Now you got 3. Now you got 2. Now you got 1. And that one big one sitting there, it'll be the last one. It'll take a few months to knock it out. 18 months, I want you debt-free using the debt snowball, smallest to largest. Hold on. I'm going to give you a graduation gift. It's called The Total Money Makeover. It's a book on getting out of debt. It'll help you. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Consider this your invitation to sell. At buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. Buysellmakeoffer.com is the new exciting